Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends Marvel Knights CLEA. And strange thing happened with this figure is it's one of the better releases from this batch of figures. And so I'm going to do my question of the day right away. I'm not being snarky. This is a genuine question. I want you to answer honestly. Did you want a figure of CLEA? And if so, how much? And I'm going to come back to this because it's a relevant question. It's a relevant thing that we need to discuss as we go through this review. But this figure does a lot of things really nicely for Hasbro, and a couple things not so well, but still, it's not a bad release. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Okay, before we get into the figure, let's take a quick look at my package. It's your standard Marvel Legends front with the cool Knights logo. I like that combo. I don't know why. I don't really care about Marvel Knights as a thing in general, but I like it. We have some comic artwork on the side. Doesn't match the figure. Not surprising, but it doesn't. And I stand corrected, by the way. I said she was one of the better figures of this bunch. It's not this bunch, it's the other wave that I was thinking about that's being mostly bad. This one kind of sucked, and I haven't reviewed the other ones yet. We already know about this guy, but this one looks pretty good. This one looks pretty good. This one looks pretty good. They all look pretty good. We'll see. I'm going to review them all. I don't have most of them yet. My brain was switched around. So maybe she's the worst of the bunch other than Luke Cage. But I don't think so because she's a decent review. She's a decent figure coming into this review. I can't speak English just anymore at all. I'm going to give up. I'm going to learn a new language because maybe I'll do better at that. Okay, so this figure stands. I'll go back to Japanese. 6¼ inches, and that's going to be about 15.75 centimeters. Here she is up against Darwin. Color coordinated height comparison. And here she is up against a figure that costs less than her. I can't help it. I had this handy, and it's just like, it's nice for Hasbro, but could they do better? I think so. I think so. All right, so let's do the aesthetic on this figure. I don't believe this torso has been used before. It does have a giant gap in her black cleavage, and that looks terrible, but if that was executed properly, it would be a nice new sculpt. This is a new piece. It's not a bad looking release. They did some things well. The paint job on the circles, surprisingly clean. No problem at all. The head sculpt is fine. The sculpt is good. Focus. The hair, I think that's fine. Could have been a little bit more dynamic. Hasbro almost never does that, and when they do, it looks weird. So I don't mind that. The face, it has that realistic paint job that throws it off completely for me. It's very well executed, very clean, technically very good. To me, it doesn't look like a comic book character. It doesn't match the rest of the body. It's still weird. Let's do another question of the day. I know I've asked this a bunch of times, but I get different answers from different people at different times. So I'm curious, how do you guys feel about this sort of paint job? Again, I want to be very clear. It's obviously clean and very, very well executed. It is nice. It's better than a terrible paint job of any other variety. But stylistically, it throws me off because we have a very low detail body from like every Marvel Legends figure they release is super low res, other than the MCU ones, which are all textured up and everything. Super soft body. Everything is basic. And then we have this super high res face. I'm just curious how you guys feel about that. It doesn't, to me either, look like the character. This looks like a young girl doing cosplay, like all makeup up and doing cosplay at San Diego Comic-Con, not like the character in the comics with a little bit, let's go back, a little bit harsher features. You know what I mean? Like not ugly, I just mean harsher, more angular. It's a handsome woman as opposed to, I don't know, a 20-something who makes money on Instagram by wearing bikinis. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know. Anyway, it's not bad. Aesthetically speaking, it's better than most Marvel Legends. There's more paint on this figure than most of them, and it looks good from a distance, even with that paint job on the face. So it's like, it's fine. It's perfectly okay for Marvel Legends. 7 out of 10 for the aesthetic. It's not bothering me in any way other than a face issue, but that's not really a problem. Okay, for accessories, get ready. This one's a doozy. We have the two hands, the two Spider-Man hands. You know, I always say that for Doctor Doom, what's his name? Doctor Strange type characters, and I inevitably always get somebody saying they're not Spider-Man hands. I know, but they're close, and it's funnier to say that. Anyway, we get those two hands, then we get two fist hands, and get ready. Purple swooshies. More swirlies. We get those. At least give us a little bit more variety, Hasbro. If you're going to reuse them 1,000 times, maybe cut it back to 700. Something like that. Let us have another one a little bit sooner. There's just so many swirlies at this point. That's it for accessories. Boring face, no alternate head. Every Marvel Legends figure looks as bored as the people who designed them. Boom, roasted. So I just don't like that we don't get any character in their faces at all, and the accessories are all reused, boring garbage. So accessory-wise, 0 out of 10. I'm taking away Spite points. Decent release for Hasbro, but still, we have to be realistic here, guys. Other companies are making Hasbro look silly at this point. And if you're not going to accept that, it's going to continue to happen. Okay, so let's talk about the articulation. What do we have? Goodness, what do we have going on for the neck? The old school lollipop. Let's see how it works. The hinge, I'm sure, is a hinge. Yep, okay, it's a hinge. It's not stuck. So let's put the head on and see what we get. I'm guessing hinge range. Oh, it's not bad. It leans back a little bit so she can look up. Can she look forward? No, she can like dislocate her neck forward, but she can't really look down all that well because of the lumpiness of the hair. Rotation, the hair is soft enough. Obviously that side's fine. This lump right here is a very thick chunk of hair, but it's soft enough that she can look to the side. Still very basic as far as neck articulation goes. I mean, I'm not counting the hair, but this type of joint system works way better, even if you have the hair. So, you know, we don't have to do the oldest technology we have. All right, shoulder rotation is fine. These guys, technically soft, but not soft enough. So if you want to bring the arm forward, it's going to go out to the side a little bit. It's not that bad. So that's not a real big deal. If it was a softer material, that'd be better. This is okay. Arms go out to the side, no problem. No bicep swivel because, you know, we don't have to do the right things. A lot of the times we can just not do them, and that's fine, and people will still buy it, so that's okay. Less than 90 degrees in the elbow, that's where you get your swivel. Very, very basic articulation, wrist swivel and hinge, that's fine. Let's check. Oh, by the way, these are painted, clearly, the purple parts, and they're not painted very well. They're not terrible, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. I forgot to mention it earlier. It's a very amateurish paint job. Hopefully that's showing up on camera. It's not even bad. Okay, so let's go back to the articulation. Let's try the torso. It's not the worst one they've done, but it's not a great one. Forward and back is basically for nuance posing. Nothing really dynamic. Same thing side to side. Rotation is fine. Belt is floaty, but it doesn't matter because it's nowhere near the hips, so who cares? All right, let's go out to the side. Still limited range for no apparent reason. Don't get it. Don't get it. And I don't mean don't buy it, I mean I don't get it. Chun-Li's legs, I almost said Thun-Li because I was thinking of thighs. I can't speak anymore, guys. I'm gonna have to learn sign language, then I'll do that. It'd be hard to hold the figure. Okay, so Chun-Li's legs, way thicker, way better range. Less expensive from a smaller company with smaller production run. So even if the licensing is a thing here, which obviously there's some licensing, there is with that too, it doesn't add up. So all these people who say it's all subjective, it's not all subjective. We don't have the exact numbers, but let's figure it out at least a little bit. Let's do a little bit of critical thinking. We don't have to have the exact numbers. And there's a reason we don't have those, by the way. They don't want that public. No company does, but especially Hasbro. Okay, that's just my hunch. It's just a theory. Okay, so legs go forward nicely, no problem at all there. They go back just a touch, so that's a good thing. Thigh swivel is gonna be a thigh swivel. I don't think we've ever, no, that's not true. I was gonna say we've never had a problematic thigh swivel, but I remember, oh, what's that character's name? Oh my gosh. It's a silver and red bug robot guy. Beetle. It was one of the Beetles. Beetle V2 or something like that, I don't remember anymore. His thighs just snapped off when you tried to rotate them, so it is possible. Knees work nicely, pinless of course, because, you know. All right, there you go. Ankles work nicely, and forward, that's good, and nice ankle rocker. So yeah, it's not bad. Like I said, it's not a bad figure for Hasbro. This is fine. If all of the C-tier characters or whatever were this good, that'd be fine. And then if they spent a little bit more energy and money and effort on the better characters, more popular characters, I'd be fine. This isn't a problem. Articulation wise, I'm going to only give it a 6 because of the neck and the elbows and the shoulders, but it's not a bad one. Especially prior to getting the updated arms. This is not a bad one at all. It's fine for Hasbro. But the fact that I have to make that so painfully clear every time I review a Hasbro figure is not a good thing. I shouldn't be able to easily find from a much smaller company a figure that's selling in much smaller numbers, and at a lower price, a figure that's so significantly better. So much better. It's not a perfect figure, don't get me wrong, but there is no way Hasbro should be having so much trouble compared to a company like Jada, who makes freaking metal cars, predominantly. Come on. Okay, final verdict on this release. If you're a Marvel Legends Hasbro collector, it's fine. If you wanted CLEA, it's fine. It's not a figure for anyone who didn't want to complete the wave or add this particular character to their collection. This will never be a good enough figure for some random casual to pick up and be like, ooh, nice. It's not. It's just good enough if you're already neck deep in Hasbro product. I'm going to give this figure an overall rating of 7 out of 10. It's acceptable. Paint job's nice-ish, and that's it. So, you know, it's hard to be excited about something like this. Oh well, there it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but I'm done with this review. So if you haven't subscribed, you might want to. I have new videos almost every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.